We're back on Kathryn Raaker's Born Before 64, and I love these shows because these are inventive, creative, whatever. And Gary, let me ask you, what's been the thrill of your life? What's the most exciting thing that has happened to you since you started your own business and wrote the book?
Well, you benefit others. That's been exciting to me. Employees were able to put their children through college. Manufacturers were able to pay additional employees. And personally, I was able to do things that I never would have been able to do. I played golf at Pebble Beach. I've been on the terrace of a room overlooking Central Park. I've experienced things that I never would have otherwise.
And have you traveled overseas a lot?
Yes, I did. I sell to a catalog in Japan. In France, there's several. In Spain, there's a chain of stores. And I've traveled extensively, and I really enjoy traveling.
And you know, it's so much fun when you go to an overseas, or you meet with an overseas location, and they just absolutely adore your product. It makes you feel so proud, you know, that you made it, that you created it. And when you first have an idea, let's have some tips from you on exactly what to do.
Well, first, it is exciting to create some wealth from an idea. Wealth that would not have existed unless you put it in motion. And I really, it's a great feeling to have. And when you're first starting out, of course, you have to make sure no one else has your idea first, and you'll want to make a prototype, and you'll eventually want to work with that prototype and eventually manufacture. You'll test the prototype for strength and material, make sure it works, and make sure it sells. The old expression, make sure the dog eats the dog food.
And you guarantee it, don't you?
And I guarantee everything we make. It's worth more to replace a CLIPEZE that's so visible on someone's garment than it is to deny them money-back guarantee. We guarantee it for life.
That's great. And I bet you get lots of letters from people that say, I can't believe that you did that for me, right?
I do, and a lot of times if you have good customer service,
That's another important fact.
Yeah, I've had complaints before that a certain pin broke, which is rare for us, but anything that's human-made can break. And we take care of the problem immediately, and I've made additional sales while I was on the phone when somebody called for a complaint. If you treat the person right, they'll buy again from you.
That's right. Now, some of the other tips that you have.
Well, I would suggest go slow. Don't borrow unless you absolutely have to. There are some products out there that might need a mold perhaps, and you'll have to buy the mold, say a plastic item. But borrow as little as you can, put the money back and into the business, and go slow. Time will pass, and next thing you know, it'll be 18 years, and hopefully you sold millions.
Right.
And that's probably the worst thing that you can do, is go out and borrow and not really even know if the product will sell.
How did you test market things?
I test everything. I test whether the product would sell. I tested prices. I tested colors. I tested everything that has to do. I test advertising. The only way to know something is to test.
Right. Let me ask you a question. What colors are in more than others? Can you tell me
right now,
that?
Purple.
Well, you know,
changes.
that is a royal color, and I love the color purple. It's so majestic. So, and there's a lot of, like, for instance, there's a high school in this area called Elder, and that's their colors. There's a lot of schools that have those purple colors, so that's an easy one. Mm-hmm. Lately, what have you seen that has been so exciting that you'd like to just jump into it?
Well, the entrepreneur movement is very exciting. I'm very pleased that more and more people are wanting to start a business, and many young people are wanting to start a business. I'm really happy about that. I hope that continues to grow. It is the backbone of our system, and the small business employs more people than all the large companies combined, I believe. And I'm happy to hear that.
Do you mentor a lot of children?
I start really at the community college level. That's about where, and it's very encouraging to see more people in those programs.
Do you work in the graphic arts with graphic arts at all?
No, I have a little skill with graphic arts, but I leave that to the graphic artists.
That you're working with, and,
Right.
and you work with different ones, right?
Yes, I do.
Do you get their logo? Maybe somebody wants to do their logo in a pin. Do you get a lot of requests for that?
A lot, and what they do is they email us the artwork, and it doesn't have to be real clear to give us an idea what we want to do with
Right.
it. And then we can make an exact quote, and we can put it in a CLIPEZE box and shape it and give them several alternatives, several choices.
Right. Now, if there's a minimum, do they pay for the artwork and everything when they're buying when you're making a new pin? Is that correct?
Generally, we do the artwork unless it's very complicated. They do have to pay a setup fee,
Right.
and that's a die fee or a die charge. That's a one-time fee, and if they reorder, they don't have to pay the die fee again. And then it's a per price depending on how intricate it is and how many quantity.
Right. How many quantity? Okay. Is there something new that you're going to be doing in the future?
Well, actually, most of my time is I use most of my time to sell the book and to talk to people that are interested in inventions and bringing a product to market, and a lot of people that bring services. There's still a lot that they can learn from bringing a product. A lot of times I recommend that somebody doing a service also brings a product, whether it be an instruction book, a book that the service can bring, the advantages the service can bring. And I spend most of my time doing that now.
Right, and I know you love doing speaking engagements all over, and I know you're doing a lot of radio shows, right?
Yes, I am.
You told me a while back that when you first bring out your product, press releases are really important, right?
Right.
And getting that message out and getting, one of the things that I love about what social media is doing today is, does CLIPEZE have its own Facebook?
Yes, we have Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn.
So you do it all?
YouTube. Yeah, we do everything.
I can't thank you enough for coming from Florida to be with us today on our Born Before 64. And let me ask you a question. Were you born before 64?
Yes, I was.
Oh, so, there's hope for all of us, right? And there's never an age with inventions.
Right. I started my business when I was about 40. So.
That's great. So you're never too old to start a business?
No, not at all.
Would you give your website out, please? One more time. And your telephone number.
www.clipeze.com. And Gary Bronga, GaryBronga.com. And I'm on Eastern Time, and I love to talk about products. It's 1-800-385-0014.
Thank you so much for joining me today and bringing this, and I'm hoping that you're going to bring me a new product or come back and talk with kids, because I know that young high school kids love to invent.
Thank you. I'll be happy to.
You're welcome. And don't forget to go look at our website at BORN, the initial B, the number 4, the number 64.com, and go up to YouTube and look at all your local channels, because we're everywhere today. And join us again on Born Before 64. See you soon.
Thank you for joining us on Born Before 64 with Kathryn Raaker.